Welcome to week 19 of the pregnancy week by week update with Mama Stay Fit. We're going to share what you can expect for your baby during week 19, what you can expect for yourself, and then also how I am feeling in my 19th week of pregnancy because I'm on this journey with you. So if you're pregnant too, be sure to comment below to let us know how you are feeling because we would love to connect with you on your journey. So Roxanne, what is happening with baby in week 19 of pregnancy?
So week 19, baby is the size of a heirloom tomato, if you like the vegetables, or a magic 8-ball, which in my mind, I don't think they're the same, but I think heirloom tomatoes are like those really big ones. So they're probably, I'm just thinking of the tiny tomatoes, but it's like the big tomatoes.
Yeah, I think they're the same size-ish.
Yeah, but whichever one resonates with you. I like the magic 8-ball personally. I think I like all the toy references.
I wish we could shake it and be like, when will I go into labor?
And it tells you, try again. But what is happening with baby during the week 19? So the senses are continuing to develop. So the hearing, the sight, the smell, the taste, the touch are all starting to develop and finishing developing in this time frame. So baby's starting to hear you more. Their taste is developing. So that amniotic fluid is what they're swallowing and eating during pregnancy. And this is actually changing in flavor based off of what you're eating. So whatever you're eating, baby's like getting a little different taste with their amniotic fluid. So maybe if you have like lots of spicy food, maybe the amniotic fluid is a little spicy. Or if it's like really flavorful, then the amniotic fluid is a little bit more flavorful. Who knows? I don't really know how it changes.
Right now, my Instagram feed is all like pickles.
You're just going to have pickle amniotic
where
fluid.
It's like pickle cupcakes and ice cream and cookies. And I'm like, I just don't know how that works. But I do like pickles, just not like in my ice cream. But, you know.
Well, maybe you need to eat pickles because maybe that's what baby girl wants.
They're starting to tempt me. I'm tempted to try something now.
Just try
just
a pickle
from the sheer onslaught
cupcake
of cookie
and
content.
She can have a pickle cupcake amniotic fluid. It's also the smell of the amniotic fluid changes as well. So the sense of smell is also developing. So they're now able to smell the change in the amniotic fluid. So maybe it'll be more pickly smelling and tasting if you eat a pickle. Who knows? The other senses that are developing is that touch. And the also fun thing that's happening in week 19 is the fingerprints are starting to develop. So we all have unique fingerprints, like individual fingerprints, to include if you have identical twins, they have different fingerprints. They don't have the same, which is kind of cool because they're identical in every way except their fingerprints. Other things that are continuing to develop this period is their facial features are starting to develop. So when you get your anatomy scan, if you haven't yet got that, you'll actually be able to potentially see facial features like the nose, the cheeks, the eyes, the ears, all of the things on baby's face that are actually like identifiable. So at your anatomy scan, they may offer 4D or like 3D imaging. So you can actually see like the actual features of baby, which I always loved seeing because it was super cool to then compare those 3D images to like what baby actually looked like when they came out. And like there were like some pretty common similarities between the two. And then even comparing them between the different babies that I've had, I thought that those were always really fun to do because the facial features are identifiable at this time. All of the major organs by this point have fully developed, like the heart is almost fully developed, the kidneys are developed, as well as all of the limbs. But also, if you're having a girl, so baby girl, has the uterus is almost fully developed, as well as little fallopian tubes. Like she has little fallopian tubes and ovaries that are almost fully developed at this point, which is really cool.
One of the things that I've heard is that you were an egg inside your grandmother's womb because your mom, when she was a little baby in her mother's womb, had all of her eggs. And so, like, you were in your grandmother's womb. And so then we tell all the girls, or we tell all the kids, because it would apply for all of them. And, like, you used to be in harmony, which is Korean for grandmother. Like, you used to be in her belly, too. And they're like, whoa.
It's super cool, but also, like, wild to think about at the same time. Like, that they had their tiny, tiny little eggs when they were a little baby inside of our little tummies. Other things that are developing is baby is starting to develop their sleep-wake cycle. So just like us, like we're not awake 24/7 and we also don't sleep 24/7. We have like different cycles when we're awake for like 12 to 16 hours and then we're asleep for 12 to 8 hours. Hopefully not 12 hours. That's a long time to sleep. But We're sleeping and awake for different periods. And same with toddlers and babies. They have different sleep-wake cycles where they're taking their naps so that they can be refreshed to be awake for a period of time. Baby is also starting to develop that sleep-wake cycle now. So you might notice if you are feeling movement that baby will have a little bit more active periods and little periods where they're not as active. And this is important for when we're starting to do those kick counts or noticing baby's movement around week 28, that this sleep-wake cycle is in place and has developed because, again, baby is going to be more active during certain periods and more asleep during other periods. So we find the time that they're active, and that's when we're doing those kick counts to notice like whether or not that active period baby has any changes. During week 19, another thing that is developing on the skin is something called Vernix. And this is this thick, white, creamy coating that's over baby's skin. And it's a protective coating on their skin because baby inside your womb is just kind of hanging out in a swimming pool. It's a lot of fluid surrounding their body. And just like if you took a bath for a very long period of time, you don't have this coating anymore. So your skin will get like wrinkly because it's just like absorbing all of that fluid around you. Whereas this coating on their skin is kind of preventing that from happening. So the coating is kind of antimicrobial and antibacterial. So it's also fending off like bacteria to protect baby from any sorts of infections that might be passed to baby through the womb or the amniotic fluid or just anything that's somehow getting to baby. That coating is protecting them. So that is why when baby is born, and if baby has this vernix, so they still might have this coating on their skin, this is important not to like rub all of it off because it could be protecting baby from infection even after baby is out of the womb. The vernix does start to like disappear around term. So we can tell which babies are usually like under 40 weeks based on how much vernix they still have on their skin, and then what babies are after 40 weeks because they don't have usually a lot of vernix on their skin at birth. So all of my babies were around 40 or after and didn't really have much, if anything, on their skin. And so if you have a post-dates baby, so sometime after 40 weeks, you might not see the vernix. But if you had like a 38-week baby, they probably have a lot of this like vernix white creamy coating on them. And some people will even take that vernix and like rub it on their own skin because it's very moisturizing. And again, it's like antibacterial, so it's like protecting you. People say it's like anti-aging. I don't know if I'm going to rub vernix on my own skin, but some people, they swear by it.
I mean, I guess right now, like baby cow colostrum is like all the rage. Maybe soon it'll be
maybe
like baby
soon.
cow vernix.
Oh, maybe.
As like the next
I don't
skincare
know.
product.
No,
I don't know if I'm going to be into that.
I'm not jumping on that bandwagon. So what is happening with you during pregnancy in week 19 is one, you might start noticing that you might be developing those pelvic girdle pains. So round ligament pain, that SI joint or lower back pain that's usually either to the right or to the left, depending on you as a person, or even symphysis pubis pain. So that front pubic bone pain like I had, unfortunately. And I think mine started developing around week 20, so almost there. So something that is commonly starting around week 19 is pelvic girdle pain, one of them being round ligament pain or even SI joint pain, so lower back or like right or left side lower back pain, or even pubic bone pain, so in the front pubic bone pain. And this is all very commonly starting around week 19 due to the changes in our muscles and ligaments.
So first, I want to start with pain is not a requirement of pregnancy. So you may have been told if you report any sort of pelvic girdle pain that the only solution is to give birth, and this is not true. There are a lot of things that can cause pelvic girdle pain, and so that means that there are a lot of things that can also resolve pelvic girdle pain. Common reasons for pelvic girdle pain is there's more movement happening within our pelvic joints. There's more movement happening within all of our joints thanks to the hormone relaxin. And so this is allowing for them to be a little bit more displacement in our pelvic joints. But just the presence of relaxin does not equal pelvic girdle pain. It also relates to the structures that are supporting the pelvis. So how are the muscles? How strong are they across the pelvic joints? How coordinated are they across the pelvic joints? And then what is your common movement pattern? How are you moving your body? And so if you are experiencing pelvic girdle pain, it could be due to the way that you're moving your body is potentially like stuck in one way, like we're always favoring one side of our body. We're not really rotating within our pelvis on one side. It could also be related to the coordination of the muscles across that pelvic joint. And so we offer a lot of resources on things that we can do to resolve pelvic girdle pain, such as free blogs, free workout videos on our YouTube channel. And so we'll link those down in the notes below so that you can find these resources to find relief. In addition, we do have a pelvic stability program that you can do if you do have a lot of pelvic girdle pain to kind of help resolve that for you. We've had a lot of success with helping our clients be pain-free throughout their pregnancy. And our prenatal fitness program includes a lot of pelvic stability exercises to help you stay comfortable throughout your pregnancy, because it's not just about staying strong and preparing for birth. Like, we also want to have a good pregnancy journey as well. Like, 10 months is a long time to be suffering. And so our programs are designed to also help you stay pain-free throughout your pregnancies. And we'll link our prenatal fitness programs down below. So if you're already having pelvic girdle pain, the pelvic stability program may be a great option for you. If you don't really have pelvic girdle pain or you're not experiencing any yet, the prenatal fitness programs can be more of like a prehab option for you. And so for me in my own pregnancies, I typically have more SI joint pain, but thanks to all of the work that I was doing pre-conception, during my pregnancy, I haven't really had any, because I've been focused so much on ensuring that my pelvis moves well, that it's balanced, and also that ensuring that the slings that are supporting my pelvis and the muscles that are supporting my pelvic joints are coordinated well with one another. And so hopefully I can continue to report every week that I don't have any pelvic girdle pain, but there are a lot of resources available to you that we offer. A lot are free, and then also some paid options to help you stay pain-free during your pregnancy.
Some other things that you might start to notice around week 19 is, one, those skin changes that you maybe had earlier in that first trimester are continuing to change. So if your skin had a little bit of that pigmentation changes with like darkening in certain areas, especially the line underneath your belly button down to your pubic bone, the linea nigra, it might continue to get darker, but also your palms. You might start to notice that the palms of your hands are becoming more red. And this is due to estrogen, whereas the linea nigra and the skin pigmentation changes are due to progesterone. So hormones do crazy things. Another thing you might be experiencing in week 19 is you might start notice that you're having some dizziness or lightheaded, especially when you go from sitting to standing or sitting and laying down to standing. This is due to that quick shift causing a fluid imbalance. And if we are not hydrated enough, we might notice those symptoms a little bit more, because our hydration status during pregnancy is a little bit more important. And we might notice when we are dehydrated more easily, because our body has a higher demand of fluids during pregnancy, because our blood volume has doubled, as well as we need enough fluid for not just us and our blood volume, but also a little baby. So we need to be ensuring that we're drinking enough water, but also our electrolyte balance is also super important during pregnancy. We don't want to be just drinking a ton of water, because this could cause an imbalance within our electrolytes. And our electrolytes are very important for so many things in our bodies, so we need to be replenishing those as well. Some of our favorite electrolytes are the brand Element. It's LMNT. It's pronounced Element. For a really long time, we were pronouncing it LMNT, and we felt real silly when we learned that it's Element. But we really like Element because it has a large amount of the sodium as well as the other electrolytes that can help replenish that electrolyte imbalance as we're drinking fluids. But it has a lot of flavor, versus a more subtle type of hydration you can use is Needed's Hydration Support. I really like the grapefruit flavor from them. It's a more subtle flavor, but it again still has a good balance of electrolytes with the sodium and the magnesium, as well as trace minerals, which Element doesn't have. Those are two really great options that we both really like. You can use code MAMASTAYFIT for Needed to get 20% off, and Element, you can use the link below to get a free sample pack. I really like the grapefruit as well from Element, but what is your favorite flavor?
Right now, I'm really liking watermelon and raspberry. Grapefruit is also a crowd favorite as well. During my pregnancy, I drink about 2 to 3 a day with my water to help me stay hydrated, and I really haven't had any cramps or headaches thus far, which is good. I can definitely tell I'm a little bit more crampy. My head hurts a little bit more when I don't drink enough water during the day, especially something with electrolytes within it. So my personal favorite is Element.
And these is really great to address another thing that could be happening during week 19, which is leg cramps, especially in the middle of the night, because a lot of these leg cramps could be caused from a decrease in amount of electrolytes, such as potassium, magnesium, and even that sodium, which all has to do with like muscle contractures. So if you are having like leg cramps in the middle of the night, it could be that electrolyte imbalance, as well as like fluid. Like if you're not drinking enough water and taking in enough electrolytes, that could also be causing those leg cramps, which don't feel great in the middle of the night. I always remembered I would wake up when I did not drink a lot and during the day, and I would just cry in the middle of the night at 1 a.m. My poor calf. So drink enough water. But Gina, how are you feeling during week 19?
So I've definitely felt a shift in my center of gravity. I feel like my belly has like really popped this week. I tend to stay on the smaller side because my uterus sits a little bit more back. I have a little bit longer of a torso, but I have felt like things have shifted for me gravity-wise. And so my balance feels like it's a little bit off. And so being more mindful of how I'm moving my body, still really incorporating a lot of my exercises, especially for that pelvic girdle pain. I'm having like slight aches and pains here and there, but then I do my exercises and it pretty much goes away right away, which is wonderful. Because again, pain is not a requirement of pregnancy. I have noticed like a little bit of swelling when we were traveling a lot and I was on my feet a lot. Like I had my sock line and like my legging line were like imprinted on my calf. So I also knew I was not drinking enough water as well, which also can contribute towards swelling. And so really trying to catch up on my hydration like now because I do not want to continue to swell. And I also don't want to be crampy as well. And we did take a vacation where I wasn't doing like my normal workouts for about 5 or 6 days. And I didn't have any pelvic girdle pain either during the trip and then afterwards, which was wonderful because in prior pregnancies, usually when I take a lot of time off from the gym, I usually either start having pelvic pain there or when I get home, like I am in a lot of pain. And so I was really happy that I didn't have any during the trip and when I got back. And I think it was because of all of like the mindful movement I did beforehand to kind of prehab for it. And so feeling very good in my pregnancy, just feeling a little bit more pregnant right now. Feeling baby more as well. So I'm feeling more frequent movement. Still no like trend to it. Still can't quite feel her if I put my hand against my belly yet. Hopefully soon. So I have been using like an at-home fetal Doppler to like listen to her just for like the reassurance that she's still in there and she's still doing okay. I won't use the Doppler as I get into my 3rd trimester. Like it's just kind of like a reassurance thing for me right now because I don't feel her super frequently to just help me feel like she's doing well. Once I'm in my 3rd trimester and she has more of a trend with her movement, I'll use that more as like an assessment tool of like how well is she doing? Because just because she has a heartbeat doesn't mean she's doing well. Similar to like if you saw someone lying on the side of the road after like a car accident or like an accident and they have a heartbeat, like they're not okay. They still need some support. And so that'll be similar like when I'm in my 3rd trimester when I have other tools to assess her well-being. But right now for my own anxiety, because I do have a history of pregnancy loss, using the at-home fetal Doppler just kind of gives me some reassurance. So I don't feel anxious all the time because I can't get an ultrasound every day. I can't see my provider every day. And so it's just something that's helping me right now, like relieve some anxiety, but it's not going to be the tool I use my whole pregnancy. But overall, feeling really good, still continuing with my exercising, really focusing on my hydration now that I feel things have really shifted for me, like physically within my body. I'll probably pull up my belly band here soon to help support my belly a little bit more because that can also be something that helps with pelvic girdle pain. It's just like a little bit more support for your belly. Haven't quite reached that point yet, but it's probably like within the next week or so that I'm going to start adding in a belly band for when I'm on my feet for like long periods of time. But
Which belly band do you prefer?
right now, I really like either my maternity leggings that have a little bit more compression. I found some like cheap ones on Amazon that I really like. But Balbay has like a pro bump band that I really like that's like super supportive that I could wear like in addition to kind of my like cheaper Amazon ones. Or if I don't have anything on my belly, I could just put that band on and it feels really supportive as well. So that'll be something that I need to dig out of my like maternity box of things. So overall, I'm feeling pretty good in week 19 of my pregnancy. Hopefully this trend continues and I can keep saying that all the way until I give birth, but we will see. If you enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel so you get weekly updates on what to expect during your pregnancy. I hope week 19 is going well for you as well. Comment below and let us know how you are feeling because we would love to connect with you on your journey. If you want more support from us during your pregnancy, check out our online prenatal fitness programs and childbirth education course. We want to help you move confidently throughout your pregnancy, also to move pain-free throughout your pregnancy with our programming, and then help you navigate your birth options and what you want for your birth with our childbirth education course. You can check out all of our courses on our website. We'll link them down below, and you can use code YouTube10 to get 10% off.